We start this Sunday at 5 with a live look outside. On your left is the view from Lookout Mountain, and on your right is the look at Boulder Creek. Not a whole lot of water rushing down the creek right now. Triple-digit temperatures are back today as we start off the month of August on a hot note. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mark Salinger.
And I'm Shalima Maharaj. 9 News is calling a weather impact alert today and tomorrow because of those dangerously high temperatures. Let's check in now with senior meteorologist Chris Bianchi. So Chris, were there any records that were actually broken today?
Yes, and we may have had a couple of all-time records broken. We're going to get some of those official numbers coming in here shortly, but today 102 officially at the airport. That was 1 degree shy of the daily record of 103 here. Officially in Denver, here in the 9 News backyard, hit 101. Same in Central Park. And by the way, we are sitting right around there right now, so it's still really hot. Worth noting, it's after 5 p.m. and it's still above 100 degrees for most of the Front Range. This is the number that sticks out. Now, this is from the airport. The official climate site in Boulder is in Central Boulder. We will get that official number shortly. But if that number comes in, same in Central Boulder, that would tie the hottest temperature ever recorded in Boulder and the hottest day in over 70 years. Last time it was this hot in Boulder, 1954. So it's actually, slightly over 70 years since it was that hot there in Boulder. Right now it is 101 here at the 9 News backyard. Still a lot of 105, 106 readings in northern Colorado. Loveland out at the airport there hit 106 today. Greeley at the airport 108 today. So just really, really hot stuff all around. And those temperatures really, again, cooking here across the state, even there at 10,000 feet in Leadville, 80 degrees, which is not a super common sight, of course, up there at 10,000 feet. Not much doing with high pressure firmly overhead on the radar picture, but tomorrow we will see some gusty storms move in, and these could produce some locally 50 to 60 mile an hour winds tomorrow afternoon. And then we cool down for Tuesday, and this is going to be a real cool down, but it's not going to last all that long. I'm going to get into detail on that and a full look at that 7-day outlook in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much for that, Chris. We will check in with you a little later on. Well, today, crews in Uray brought in heavy equipment to repair dirt roads. There has been a lot of activity and high traffic from fire crews having to respond to the Gold Mountain fire, which can lead to wear and tear to the surface of the road. Now, the fire is now 72% contained and has burned more than 39,000 acres.
Meanwhile, crews in Archuleta County had the opportunity to lower the risk to nearby homes last night with another fire, attacking some fingers of the fire moving downslope. This fire was started by lightning last Tuesday, 10% contained right now, and has burned over 1,000 acres just south of the town of Pagosa Spring. Beekeepers suffered back-to-back years of record colony losses. That's according to the U.S. Beekeeping Survey.
And this year, losses are stabilizing, but they are still significant. Our 9 News reporter Janelle Finch joins us now with how Colorado beekeepers are handling the challenges in the industry.
The USDA found that colony losses in the 2024-25 winter were due to parasites. Beekeepers are recovering from those losses, but it's a slow climb back to normal. To find something sweet, you don't have to look far at the Parker Honey Festival.
So we have 1-pound jars.
For those in the business of bees.
Prom for beekeepers.
Like Ann Atkinson.
Hi, what can I get you?
The festival allows her to showcase the work of her hives.
L'Abeille de Travois. It's French for the bees of Travois. I live in the Travois neighborhood.
She says the sweet profession faces a bitter situation.
What honey we have is very special because it's a very bad year for bees.
Atkinson says beekeepers are dealing with significant colony losses.
There's a 40% loss over the winter nationwide.
She says Colorado beekeepers may have caught a break with the warmer than average winter.
But then middle of April, we had this really hard freeze that took out all the fruit trees, even took out the embryonic buds that had not yet emerged. So there just was no forage out there for them. And then the dry conditions have been really difficult.
Atkinson says other outside factors can impact bee health.
What are your neighbors planting? What are your neighbors spraying on their plants? The pesticides, the herbicides, all that stuff affects the bees.
She says she had less honey to sell this year.
So that's 26, and there's my Venmo.
Atkinson hopes despite industry challenges, she can keep making sweet things easy to find.
Got it.
Yay,
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you.
Atkinson says she did lose one colony last year, likely due to a parasitic mite. Those mites can make bees sick. She says she hasn't lost any this year, but worries about the potential of more parasites invading her hives. Janelle Finch, 9 News.
All right, thanks so much for that, Janelle. Appreciate it.
4 people are recovering after a stabbing incident last night in Denver. It happened around 6 p.m. on the 5100 block of North Sherman. Denver police found 4 people in a home with non-life-threatening injuries, they say. A suspect has been arrested. DPD says that this was most likely a family disturbance.
A teenage girl is dead following a shooting in Aurora last night. Police responded to a shooting on East Alabama Drive just before 10:30. The teen was found by officers with a gunshot wound. She was then taken to the hospital and later died. Now, police have a suspect who is also a minor in custody. An investigation is underway. Well, staying in Aurora, 4 people have been displaced after a garage fire overnight. Firefighters and police responded to the fire in the 14,000 block of East Baltic Place near Iliff and Peoria. It took crews around an hour to get the fire under control. There were no reported injuries. Now, the cause of the fire is under investigation.
Out on the western slope, closures of US 6 in Garfield County may be required to clean up a train derailment that happened this weekend. Happened yesterday in West Parachute around 7 p.m. Parachute police say a coal train derailed. They closed the boat ramp nearby on Highway 6 for about 2 hours while they investigated. They say initial reports are that the derailed cars were empty, but there may be more closures over the highway over the next couple of days for crews to remove the debris that was there.